Good afternoon, everyone. So, I want to make this dream of 2 months that I had on April 27th this year. There are a few things that have come to pass. Unfortunately, one had to do with the attack on my children. I was kind of hoping that that wasn't going to be the case, but it happened. I collected a few photos and a few things that reminded me of the dream or looked similar to what I saw in the dream. And early on, I did research that we were going to have two full moons or blood moon in August. But again, the part with my children bothered me. And so things that took place in the dream, they seemed a whole lot more, it was worse than what it seemed like. It was worse in the dream than what it actually was, but it still was an attack on both my children in the same day. And you'll see what I'm talking about when I get to that part. I'm going to try to keep this concise, and there is one other thing in the dream you guys can give your input about, because I don't quite know what it means. So I dreamed that I was on James Island. I think it was actually John's Island. It's actually John's Island, but I wrote James Island. James Island takes you to John's Island, and John's Island takes you to where I was trying to go in this dream. I was heading to the intersection that takes me to the island. So there are two other islands after John's Island, and one of them are two resort islands, and one of those two resort islands are islands that I used to work on one, and President Joe Biden, he stayed several times during his vice presidency, and also I know he was here during his presidency, and there are a lot of celebrities that live on the island. Some have second homes, and some, there are a couple that live there. I don't want to get into all that. Okay, just it's secluded, so it takes a couple islands to get to that particular island. Okay, you guys. So I was going to the intersection, and I believe I was going right in the dream. Going left in real life takes you to those islands I just mentioned, but going right kind of takes you back to a main artery that could take you to Savannah. That could take you. We have also that other main artery here on our side of town, but this side of town it's just a continuation of that main artery. So I was trying to go right. It was John's Island, like I said, kind of made me think about John of Patmos. I got almost to the intersection, and there was a strip where there were some stores on the right-hand side. My son and my daughter were with me in the car, and I looked up, and there were two full white moons, two identical, kind of in the left-hand sky, and another light in the sky with a yellow-orange tint to it. I couldn't make out the details or what it was, but the light it was giving off was about the same size. So it looked kind of obscure, and I have a couple photos of what I saw. I'm thinking maybe it was I'll show you what I saw in a few minutes. I was stopped there at the strip on the right-hand side, right just at the intersection. And it seemed as if they had just built it to cover to the intersection. Okay, very weird. The only way to get to the street that I wanted to was to drive all around the other way of the island to get there. So several miles, okay? So that's what one lady told me when I got out the car to kind of see what was going on. Or to walk across the lot. Not that I would just leave my kids in the car, but I was trying to figure out why this strip mall was built directly on top of the intersection, so where you couldn't go left or right, perhaps. I know for sure not right. I left Omar and Myra in the car, and it seems as if I was out for a while talking to one lady, and something seemed to have gotten into my car. One, it seemed supernatural. As soon as I stepped out the car to try to figure out what's going on, the little strip mall was, several little, like a grocery store, a Taco Bell. There is one on the left-hand side, actually, in real life at this particular intersection, but in the dream it was on the right. It seemed as if something was torturing my son. He was laying down. Myra was getting hot in the car. It seemed as if I had stepped into a time zone and had been gone a long time on a hot summer day, like she was burning up. I also knew that there was some organization, like one of the alphabet agencies. I said it when I wrote it down, like HARP, that had been doing something in that particular area, and that was one of the reasons why the intersection was shut down for normal traffic. So one lady, that was the end of the dream, one lady in the dream told me, oh, no, you can't go to this particular intersection. You have to drive all around. And then the other lady that came to meet me when I got the car was like, no, that's not true. Strange. Two white, these moons were white. It's not the color of like what we would see the super moons. I've seen like yellowish tint super moons. I've seen two moons in a dream, but not identical. Those dreams led me to find out information on what we call a black moon, because the colors and stuff was so obscure. I couldn't really pick, and I had no idea what a black moon was. But this is the first time that I saw two white identical moons, kind of in the left, and then on the right was this reddish hue. It looked like this, you guys. I guess what you would, this is a picture from Mr. MBBM3, and I took it on June 7th. This is what it looked like, and this is from the smoke that was in the north, and it was giving a blood red moon. Okay, this is exactly how it looked in the dream. So there's two big, full white moons like this. But they were white. I've never seen moons this white. One time, a few weeks ago, they were whiter than this. Okay? I sitting right next to each other, just like this. Maybe a few more, couple hundred or, from our view, a couple 100 feet apart. But they were right next to each other. And then this. And I also knew in the dream, like I said, there was some alphabet agency doing something in the sky. So besides this picture I took on June 9th, I also saw this. This is from Marfuko. He was talking about this fake moon that China, I think China was launching. I never got to watch the full video because it was like 50 minutes. Okay, you guys. I don't know what that was about, but like I said, I was prompted to find out when we were having our blood moons. And this says blood moon on August 30th through 30th and /31st, and August 19th /20th. I always thought they were like 30 days apart. I don't know, you guys. I know it's twice in 1 month. Okay, for a blue moon. That's what makes it a blue moon. Okay, you guys, for us to have 2 full moons in 1 month. Aside from that, I don't know what the alphabet agency was doing in the sky. I don't know what that third object is. Like I said, it looks like just like that picture from Mr. MBBM3, like a smoked haze. I don't know. I can't say it was a blood moon, but it looked just like this, you guys. It was weird. In addition to the 2 full white big moons. Also, and lastly, both my children were in their car. I was kind of thinking about those from the time I had the dream, because I can't remember. It's probably been almost a year when myself, Myra, and Omar have been in the car all together, because he drives, he works, he rarely rides with me. So it's been like a holiday or something, like Thanksgiving, since the last time that he, probably longer than a year too. So I was like, what's this dream about? So Friday, when I left work, the Lord was trying to tell me something in his way, that something was wrong. I get to pick Myra up for school. Her teacher told me she had a bad nightmare. She woke up hysterical, inconsolable, and crying. And to my knowledge, that's her first nightmare. And then, so I prayed over her, I anointed her, and then about 3 o'clock that morning, Omar wakes me up. He's like, he has CV, or the flu. And comes to find out he has CV. So both my children, he had a fever. In the dream, Myra was burning up, and hot, and Omar was being tortured. But in real life, it was vice versa. Okay? So got through that, and I think there's one more thing. There is one more thing I want to mention. Can't think of it. It just skipped my mind, guys. That's it. If you have any thoughts about the ABC agency, I know Sister Kim Fisher has had a couple of dreams about it. I've had a couple open visions about HARP, and a couple of dreams about them, other agencies doing things that they have no business in our sky. And that's it. Just wanted to put that out. Just thought it was very interesting. I don't know what it symbolizes. It's definitely, I wouldn't consider it to be a rapture dream. I wish it was, okay, you guys? We are going home soon. We are going home soon, though. Love you guys. I will talk with you later.